Recently, it was announced that there's about an 80% chance that the oil from this spill, at least the tar balls, are going to reach the Florida Keys and probably go all the way around, at least as far as Miami. It's a sad reality. You've got to get ready. It's coming. And there's nothing that you can do in this world to prevent this onslaught of oil. The thing is that we need to anticipate it, we need to be ready for it, and we need to respond to it, both today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now, and 20 years from now. Because what happens when this oil comes ashore isn't a short-term thing. We know that the BP company is responsible for cleaning this up. This oil spill is not like Hurricane Katrina. It's not like the earthquake in Haiti. This is not an act of God. This is an act of BP, a culpable party responsible for the damage it's created, and they are being charged with paying professionals to clean it up. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned about the care of the oiled birds being brought into the various rescue centers, but I can tell you that Tri-State Wild Bird and Rescue organization from Wilmington, Delaware is the best in the world. The International Bird Rescue and Research Center in the California, San Francisco Bay Area, they are equally as good. These are the two best organizations in the world to respond to oiled wildlife circumstances. And they have been contracted and subcontracted by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to clean the animals that actually are affected by the oil. I can tell you my confidence in these people is unmitigated. They are the best that there is. The problem is that most of the animals being oiled never make it into them for care. There are people out on the Gulf, out in the water, looking for oiled wildlife, sort of. They're looking for endangered species, which is appropriate. They are the most fragile and the most vulnerable. They are protecting nesting beaches, rookeries, again, most fragile for population continuance and sustainability, and they're protecting national wildlife refuges. But if you consider in the state of Louisiana alone, the coastline is perhaps 450 miles wide from the Texas border to the Mississippi border, but that doesn't sound like so much. But when you stop and think that that 450 miles of coastline actually represents more than 7,000 miles of shoreline, including the shoreline of all the barrier islands, the inlets, the bays, the estuaries, the wetlands, it's hard to imagine how any number of people can adequately patrol or find all of the victims in such an intricate web of habitat. And the truth is, the number of federal and state employees deployed for that job simply inadequate. They're not going to find the animals. They're not going to find them in time to save them. We've heard from many people, public officials, national officials, Coast Guard officials, that they have been ordered not to touch oiled wildlife. And in one sense, it's appropriate that the people that rescue and retrieve these animals and bring them for care are qualified to do so. But when there are so few of them in the field, when a report goes in that an animal has been found entrapped in oil, it may be hours, if ever, that someone comes to retrieve it, to rescue it, to save its life. This is something that has to change.